Hey, Sam, why don't you answer a quick question for me? Why are the richest counties in all of America the 5 major counties in the DMV right around Washington, D.C.? Can you explain to me, what do those counties do? Are there some mineral deposits there I don't know about? Did they strike oil? Is there some type of rich industry that's created around Washington? Maybe you can answer me that question. Why are those people so filthy rich? You don't seem to like rich people, so maybe explain why.
I can answer that question.
What does DC
you want me to
make,
answer it?
Sam?
It's lobbyists. It's lobbyists like all of the ones that have been appointed to Donald Trump's cabinet and to political. They're sitting in warehouses in Rhode Island and in Georgia right now, food that is pre-digested practically because these kids are starving, and it's sitting in warehouses. It's going bad, and they have no way to ship it.
Okay.
Because USAID has been shut down.
Good morning, YouTube. Happy Tuesday. So I wanted to start this video by basically saying I got some new subscribers yesterday, and I'm very, very grateful and appreciative. I'm grateful that you guys are here. Thank you very much for joining the family. So I'm Angel. I talk about politics, and today I want to bring you guys a couple of clips about the Piers Morgan show that I watched the other day. So this first clip is a guy named Benny Johnson and another guy named Sam Sider. Benny Johnson is more of a Republican, right-leaning pundit. Sam Sider is a more liberal, Democrat, left-leaning pundit, and they were having a debate regarding federal workers. They were having a debate regarding DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. I feel like we talk about DOGE every day because Elon is just out there creating chaos. And so it's like every day there's a new story. There's something else to kind of not necessarily be enraged by, but keep your eye on. And if you need to activate, if you need to call it out, then it's imperative that you do so. I also wanted to mention, this is just a side note, I had a commenter, and I believe the commenter is from a different country. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your comment. And the comment basically said, you guys, have a great democracy, you have a great republic, and it's imperative that you guys fight for it. And I want that commenter to know, because I think sometimes people outside of America has this ideology that whomever is in office, that most of the people in the country agrees with that particular person. And that is never the case. It's unfortunate, but our country is very divided. It's a very polarizing time in our country. I believe this is the greatest country in the nation. I believe we have a lot of issues, but you can hold two ideas in your head. You can know that this is a great republic, and you can also know that we have a lot of things we need to fix around race relations, around just classism, sexism. We have a lot of issues. However, I believe the foundation of the country, well, not necessarily the foundation, because the country was started by enslaved people and built for free by my ancestors. So, but what I would say is the country as a whole, I believe, is a great, prosperous country. However, we have a lot of issues. We have a lot of things that we need to pay attention to, advocate for, try to make change. And so some of us that do not agree with this administration, is not a matter of we want to throw America away altogether. We just know that it's imperative that we save this democracy and save this republic, because there's so much going on that a lot of us do not agree with at all. At all. And this is going to lead to my clip, because Benny Johnson, like the Republican pundit, was having a debate against Sam Sider. And I don't know what this new thing is with the Republican Party, that they insist on treating federal workers like parasites, but it is very, very disturbing. First of all, this guy, Benny Johnson, is so, I don't like to call people stupid, contrary to some people's belief, because my last couple of videos, I watched back and I'm like, Angel, you keep saying stupid. But I believe it. I believe some people are just operating in an intellectually dishonest way. And this guy, Benny Johnson, was a good example of that, because he asked Sam Sider the question, why is it that the counties in DC are are some of the richest people, some of the most wealthiest people? Why is that the case? And the minute he asked his question, I yelled to myself while I was watching, lobbyists. I don't understand why this guy, Benny Johnson, was pushing a narrative that federal workers were getting paid all of this money and they're just not doing any work. Federal workers make very, very little money. Federal workers, teachers, like it seems like, almost to be extremely honest, the most important jobs get paid the least. So when he was asking the question to Sam Sider, who just annihilated him, as he should have, because your question was stupid, and not only was your question stupid, think about what you're saying. Federal workers, like I said, do not make a lot of money. I'm pretty sure there are federal workers who make a decent amount of money, but on average and overall, federal workers do not make a lot of money. So when you're talking about the wealthiest people in DC, you are not talking about federal workers. Like, so his question, when he was asking his question, I'm like, do he think he's like making a point? Like, because you're about to get annihilated. I knew Sam Sider was going to annihilate him, and basically was saying lobbyists. There's lobbyists that are sent to Washington to advocate for a particular side. Those are the people who make all the money. And so it's so weird to me that either this guy was just blowing smoke, or he really believed what he was saying. And it's like, if you just do a tad bit of research, if you just research federal workers and their salaries, because from my understanding, if you work for the government, I could be wrong, but my understanding, because I know with the city, like certain cities, when you work for the city, your salary is publicized. You can literally go and see the range, right? So it'll say, if you are I don't know, if you're a cashier that works for the government, like you work, you work for a government building, but you're a cashier, you receive monies and all those things. It'll say the range. It'll say, like, this particular person, these are their qualifications, these are all of the attributes and the things that they need in order to get the job. And this particular person can make between $57,000 and $63,000. So if this guy Benny Johnson just done any research, just a little bit of Google search before he ran his mouth, before he opened his mouth, he would have seen that federal workers are not the people that's making all the money. And so when he asked the question, I was literally in my living room, like yelling, because it's like, federal workers don't make any money? Those are not the people in Washington that has all the money? Are you crazy? And so Sam Sider went on to say lobbyists, and he went on to give him facts and statistics, and the guy just sat there just looking stupid. Like, it's like, you thought you had this great point. You thought you was really driving it home. No. And so that was one clip. Another clip, and I mentioned USID. I mentioned USID before. So another clip, we have Sam Sider basically going against Julia Michaels. Yes, the Julia Michaels, the workout lady that was on like The Biggest Loser. I'm not exactly sure if she's like transitioning into politics, or I don't know, but her question was so surface. I was like, what is she talking? Or her answer was so surface. I'm like, what is she talking about? And so Sam Sider basically annihilated her as well. He was flawless. During this debate, they were trying to overtalk him. They were trying to gang up on him. It was a 3v1. Piers Morgan is a right-wing person. He's right-leaning. He tried to act like he's objective. He's a Trump fan, and everybody knows it. So it was Piers Morgan, it was Julia Michaels, and it was Benny Johnson against Sam Sider. And Sam Sider demolished them, like, effortlessly. They were trying to talk over him. They were trying to gang up on him, and it just couldn't work because the facts were on Sam Sider's side. So regardless to you trying to filibuster, you're trying to talk over me, you're being disingenuous, I'm going to state my facts, I'm going to be consistent, and I'm not going to let you run away with this conversation. And so Sam Sider was just phenomenal. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. I believe that I am. So the second conversation they got into, they were talking about USID. And Sam Sider basically revealed some statistics and basically said all of the food and stuff there is sitting in warehouses going to waste, right? And so with DOGE, this whole thing about just kind of like firing or terminating, like I said, they use different terminology, like it depends on what paper you're reading, what news channel you're watching, but whatever it is that they consider themselves doing, it's not productive. It's not saving resources. It's not saving money. It's actually contributing to the waste that they say that they want to get rid of and eliminate. So we have food that that's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be transported to South Africa or Africa, I believe. You guys will see it in the clip. And basically that food is just sitting in the warehouse. So how is that not wasteful? And the reason that it's not going out, the reason that it's not being shipped out and going to where it's supposed to go is because Elon and his team, without doing any analysis, without setting up a committee to see what people do, they're just randomly firing people, which is so idiotic and unproductive. So they're randomly firing people. These large departments, these large organizations that were functional are now not functional, and we're wasting resources and food that can go to starving children. How is this beneficial to anybody? It is so frustrating watching what's going on, because it's like Elon, and this is another thing. Elon is on this whole, the DOGE is Department of Government Efficiency. It's all about, we want to eliminate the waste. And so we want to downsize the government by eliminating the waste. So you fired, I think for USID, they let go, from my understanding, 97% of their workforce in a matter of weeks. Donald Trump took office January 21st. Today is March 3rd. What is that, 6 weeks? You were able to assess, put a committee together and do an analysis on all these people's jobs, 97% of a workforce in this particular, for USID, how? How? It's not possible. It's literally not possible. So, and I'm gonna check my facts regarding the 97%, but I believe it went from over 100,000 to like 3,000 people that are still working for USID. And so this food is just basically sitting somewhere in some warehouse, rotting away. And so that's not eliminating waste. That's contributing to the waste. And that's what DOGE is doing. Another thing that scares me, because I'm a person who loves to travel. And it's just not about me, but I'm just saying anecdotally, I'm a person who loves to travel. It seems like we literally have a plane crash like every other day, or a plane having to be derailed and stopped and brought back to the terminal. Like, this is happening consistently. And I remember when the Biden administration and Pete Buttigieg, I love Pete. Pete Buttigieg was the Secretary of Transportation. Sorry. And they gave him so much, like the Republicans, right-leaning people gave him, oh my God, they were so very critical of Pete. They were so very critical of Pete because there was something going on with the airlines at the time. And it was like, the planes weren't just crashing or having to be landed early, but it was something going on. And they gave Pete the blues. He was incompetent and he wasn't ready for the position, and Biden should have put him in that position. And now that on Trump's watch, now that every other day there's a freaking plane crash, the Republicans aren't saying anything about it. This is how you know that it's not about the betterment of the country. It's people playing for their side. Because if something goes wrong in the United States of America, everyone, and that's the reason why I say this is the most dangerous thing. People should just be able to call out right and right, wrong and wrong, regardless to the side that you're on. Because if something is not for the betterment of the country, it should be able to be called out by everybody. And so many people are so occupied and playing for their side that they can't call out injustices if it happens on their side. Even with the Zelensky and Trump meeting, if you were to go on social media and see how different the perspectives are of what happened, it's astounding. Because what I seen was Zelensky being teamed up on. They had a little plan put in place that J.D. Vance was going to be the bad cop. This is my belief. This is what I believe happened, just my opinion. Because here's the thing. I've been watching footage, and I know that I got off a little bit, but I've been watching footage and coverage of generals and people that were in really high position in our government who's basically saying VPs normally don't talk during these meetings. So the fact that J.D. Vance basically was talking the entire meeting is an indication that this was their little plan. And I think they have people that, of course, they have right-leaning people who agree with them, but the majority of the comments I see, although they are diverse, the majority of the comments I see are in support of Ukraine. I support Ukraine. I support Zelensky. I think the way he behaved in that meeting was like a real hero and a leader. He was not going to allow them to bully him. He was not going to allow them to talk negatively about his country. You can tell that man loves his country, and he's going to fight and advocate for his country. And I think that is phenomenal. I believe he was a hero in that meeting. I believe Trump and Vance look like freaking bullies. And then this morning I wake up and see that Trump has canceled the aid to Ukraine. Exactly what Putin wants. That is very, very, very heartbreaking, because that's exactly what a murderous dictator wants. So we're going to get back to Piers Morgan's show and Benny Johnson being an idiot, because that's exactly what he was. I was just like, what? That question was stupid. Julia Michaels, I don't want to sound sexist. I don't want to sound whatever, but Julia Michaels, you was on The Biggest Loser. You look like you're a phenomenal trainer. Go help people lose weight. I could use your help, chat. Go help people lose weight. Sorry. Go help people lose weight and talk about nutrition, because you're not ready for this. Like, as far as politics, you're not ready. I was listening to her speak, and I'm like, and then this is another thing. Sam Sider was talking about how the food is wasting away because USAID, most of the employees have been terminated. And she was like, stop making an argument about starving children. But Julia Michaels, that's what it's about. It's like you guys don't want to have to be held responsible for what is happening. It's like, oh, it's not only children are starving, but that's taking place. So I know you don't like the way it sounds, because you sound like a insensitive jerk, but that is what's taking place, and that's the side that you're advocating for. So you can not like it all you want. It doesn't matter. Facts are stubborn things. And what is happening, these are facts, that there's warehouses of food that's just sitting, going to waste, because Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, has decided that the way to downsize government is just by willy-nilly eliminating programs and departments. And this is the side you're advocating for. So I know you don't like the way it sounds, but nobody cares what you like. We care about telling the truth and speaking truth to power. That's what people care about. Nobody cares about your feelings, because you don't care about the feelings of those kids that are not receiving resources and food because of USAID, basically 97% of their staff being eliminated. You don't care about that. I know you don't like to hear it because it sounds bad, but if you cared about it, you will advocate and you'll fight against what's happening, but that's not what you're doing. It's not what you're doing. She said something, and I'm like, that is such a caricature of the Democratic Party. And this is my little issue with the Democratic Party, when they kind of play into the caricature that the Republicans put out there. Because I've never, like I said, I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I'm going to be upfront and honest with you guys. I never got on board with a man can have a baby and all of those things. No, my ideologies are more left-leaning, right? Because I believe in taking care of the least among us. I believe in being good to people. I believe in social services because I know people personally that need those programs. Those programs are life and death for those people. So I believe in helping people. I believe we live in a democracy. We live in a republic, and it's our responsibility to take care of the least among us. But this whole on the left, men can have babies and all that shit, I don't subscribe to that, okay? I don't subscribe to that. However, with trans, let's have a conversation about that, because people like to lump these things in together. I believe in trans rights. I believe people have a right to identify the way that they want. I believe that as long as they're not hurting anybody, they deserve life, liberty, and justice in this country like everybody else. So people can identify however they like. They can love whomever they like. I don't have any problems with any of that. But I've never gotten on board with a man can have a baby. That's just, I'm just like, no. And so when Democrats kind of lean into the caricatures that Republicans put on the Democratic Party, that bothers me. And I believe it's the reason why they lost some of half of the, like the middle of the country. Some people are just like, yeah, I'm left leaning, I'm liberal, I'm more Democratic, but I'm more of a Democrat, but all of this men can have babies and stuff like that. It's like, that's too far for a lot of us. And I voted for Kamala Harris, so let's not get that twisted at all. But I'm being honest and I'm being very transparent. When I talk to people, I live in Illinois. I work in Chicago. When I talk to people who are more liberal, more left-leaning, those are the things that they're saying. And the Democratic Party, it's imperative that you listen if you want to win. People are saying, yes, we believe in social services. Yes, we believe in helping the least among us. Yes, we believe that people can love whomever they want. They can identify with however they want. But men having babies, no, 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 no. That's too far. No. So that's that. But I want you guys to check out these clips because, like I said, I watch Piers Morgan. Sometimes he's insufferable. This time he wasn't speaking as much, so it wasn't as bad. But Sam Sider should go on Piers Morgan's show at least once a week. He has to, because the way he was able to calmly like destroy the rest of the panel was beautiful to watch with straight facts. He wasn't engaging in hyperbole. He wasn't trying to just kind of get a zinger on somebody, just trying to make someone else look bad, because that's what Benny Johnson was doing. He was so performative. I was like, calm down, you sound stupid. So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me? And it's like, you doing all that and you're wrong and you sound dumb. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your little performance. You still sound stupid. Nobody cares. Sam Sider is about to annihilate you in like 2 minutes, and you, after you've done your performance, you're about to get embarrassed. So calm down, chill out. So I want you guys to watch this clip, and I want to bring you guys another video later today, and so I will. And again, the people, because I can't remember how many subscribers, but I got some new subscribers. So welcome, you guys. Thank you very much for being here. Like I said, I am Angel, and I am very grateful you're here. Everybody have a great day. Thanks. Bye.